Okay, ladies, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You've heard this before, huh?
Yeah.
Tell me about a time, either in your life or someone else's life, or even in our society, that there was no planning, and how did it turn out? Can you think of a specific example? Yes, and speak up, please.
I can think of a really big example. In like 2 months, I decided to go teach in Costa Rica for a year, and I really didn't plan. So I went and spent a year with English people and learned no Spanish.
Okay, so you were gonna teach and you didn't plan, you did it in 2 months and you went to Costa Rica and
So I was there for a year, but I taught in an English school and had English roommates. And
Oh, so you didn't learn any Spanish?
Yeah, never emerged into this
interesting.
culture, never planned on how to do that.
Well, yeah, so planning on how to learn a language, yeah, planning would help, right? Sure. Any other examples?
I'll give one.
Yes.
If you don't plan your day around coming to boot camp, then the time is gonna come and go and you won't end up at boot camp.
That's a good point, yeah. So you have to plan your workouts. Yeah, Kara, you
I missed
agree?
boot camp tonight.
Yes, you look very nice, but.
Because my planning didn't come through, I tried to get a ride for my son and it didn't happen until.
So sometimes when plans don't come through,
Yeah.
yeah, then we don't hit the target. Go ahead.
I plan what I'm going to eat the night before, pack it up and take it with me.
Well, so that's a good example of good planning,
Yeah.
is planning your meals. Oh, what are we talking about tonight? Well, good segue into this. Well, let's talk about really good planning, and I can think of a great example. What is a time in your life that you planned really, really well? Really, really well.
Wedding.
Exactly. That's the one I always think of, is your wedding. Most of you probably spent a lot of time planning your wedding. How did your wedding turn out?
It was beautiful.
Beautiful? Yeah? I mean, maybe there were some hiccups here or there, right? But for the most part, did your wedding turn out pretty nice?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Because you spent years planning. You were planning your wedding since you were like 4 years old, right?
I can say one thing I didn't plan.
Yes.
I didn't plan to get the best videoer.
Oh.
And the plug came out, so there was all kinds of movement but no sound, so.
Oh, no. Okay, so you didn't have the best videographer.
No.
Okay. Okay. So, but that's an example of you spent so much time planning, and what were the results? You had good results, right? And things that you didn't plan so well, the results didn't turn out so great. Or maybe you got lucky if it turned out well, right? So, it's interesting. What about meal planning? A lot of times we don't think about the fact that we need to plan our meals. I don't know, and obviously many of you have been working on this already, but would any of you say that meal planning is a relatively new concept for you, perhaps? Like it wasn't really something that you actually carved aside time for to do? Or is it something that you've always done? Yes.
Well, it was new for me when I got married.
Okay, yeah, usually, because then now you're feeding somebody else. Like you could just grab a banana and be good, right? But now you gotta feed a hungry man, and that doesn't cut it,
Yeah.
right? Okay, how many of you have kind of just winged it most of the time?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of it, yeah, so that's very common.
Shopping planning is what I need.
The shopping plan, yeah, that is a challenge. That is a challenge. So, well, what we're talking about today is mastering meal planning, and really, you will make your diet plan, your whole nutrition plan, really is going to succeed or fail based on whether you make meal planning a priority. That is the reason why this is our very first class. Meal planning absolutely has to be your priority. So I want to talk about scheduling it, planning for those what I call uh-oh moments, and positive affirmations, journaling, how that fits in with all of that. So we're going to talk about that. So first of all, let's talk about scheduling your meal planning. Why do you think this is important, to actually schedule your meal planning?
Because otherwise it won't happen.
Because otherwise it won't happen. Can you see that in other areas of your life, like your workouts, right? Or even maybe, dates with your husband, or doing something with your kids, or things like that, right? I have a business coach who says schedule everything. Schedule everything. Your workouts, when you get up, when you go to bed, when you're gonna do pleasure reading, when you're going to study, when you're going to do your meal planning. When you're going to do your meal planning. So really have a schedule. Do you guys use a calendar? Do you use a calendar or on your phone or something? Do you use some type of method for planning, for scheduling? Yes? Okay, good. So most of you do. Because some people don't. Some people don't use any kind of a calendar and just write a few notes here and there. But having some kind of one place where you plan things. Now, I recommend that you schedule your meal planning one time during the week. Oftentimes, sometime during the weekend, Saturday morning before everybody gets up, or Sunday night before you start your week. Do you guys ever look at your schedule and look at your whole week and see kind of what's coming up and everything? Good. That would be a perfect time to do your meal planning. So if you're looking at, okay, I've got this appointment on Tuesday, I gotta go to camp on Wednesday, and so forth, then actually at that time, scheduling your meal. So, okay, so Monday, I'm gonna cook this, and I'm gonna be able to eat that for lunch on Wednesday, and have some leftovers maybe on Thursday, or I'm going out on Thursday, so, looking at that and scheduling your meal planning around that. That's very helpful. And what should your meals consist of? Now, being that we are in this challenge, tell me, how should you be eating right now? And I'm gonna walk away from the camera because I forgot my pen. So, whoops, okay. So, tell me, what should your plate look like?
Vegetables.
Three-quarter
vegetables.
Okay, yeah, so you're eating a lot of veggies, right? A lot of veggies.
Noon to 9.
Okay.
Lean protein.
All right, what lean proteins are you gonna eat?
Eggs.
Chicken, fish, eggs.
Pork.
Avocado.
Okay.
That's right.
No pork.
Some nuts. Lean meats.
So lean meats,
Buffalo.
Nuts.
buffalo, that's good, okay? And then you want to throw in some essential fatty acids, right? What are some essential fatty acids?
Avocado.
Avocados,
Olive oil.
olive oil,
Fish oil.
almonds, fish oil,
Flax meal?
flax. Good, very good, excellent.
Does coconut oil fit into any of
Coconut
that?
oil is an essential fatty acid, yep. Yeah, that's great. So let's talk about planning an actual meal. What does it look like, and how can you, one of the biggest challenges with meal planning is the time, right? We are all crunched for time. So how can we make this very simple, where you can plan a meal, have leftovers, be able to use different pieces of it for other things, eat with your family and so forth. This is interactive because I know you guys have great ideas that you can share with each other. But this is, everybody's busy, you came from work, everybody's squeezing all of this in. So we need to help each other and figure out what are some of the simplest ways that you can do it. So let's think about a meal that looks like this, and let's think about how you can plan it in your week.
I really like stir fry.
Stir fry, that's a great idea.
Some chicken, a bunch of veggies, you've got your little olive oil or coconut oil, and voila.
That's a great idea. So stir fry, okay, you can use coconut oil or olive oil. Coconut, for high heat temperature, grapeseed oil is actually the best, and coconut oil. Olive oil is more for really low temp or salad dressings, okay? Yes?
Unless you buy just pure olive oil instead of virgin or extra virgin, pure olive oil can take more.
Yes, the one that's not the extra virgin, but I still recommend grapeseed oil actually as the high heat oil, okay? So, let's say we have a stir fry. So let's say on Sunday you make a big thing of stir fry. How can you eat that? How can you plan that in your meals? Because you kind of get bored sometimes eating the same thing too, right? Mm-hmm. So you can have that for dinner, and then how can you do it for lunch the next day?
I'll put it on spinach.
You can put it on a salad or in a lettuce wrap. You can make a lettuce wrap with it, right? Or put it on a bed of spinach, or make it some kind of salad. Yeah, exactly.
And add like feta cheese or add something light to it,
Add some
just to give
feta.
it a little bit different taste.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's good. You can always put it in a blender and make it a smoothie. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so that's an example of two different ways you can have it. Let's think of a different one. Let's think of another one.
Grilled chicken for the whole week.
Okay, so grilled chicken, how easy is that? Okay, so what can you do with the grilled chicken and turn it into a meal? What are some things you can do?
Chicken kebabs.
Okay, so you can put some different veggies and make chicken kebabs with it, and then have a side salad or something. Then because you want to make sure you're eating enough so that you're full. What's something else you can do with it?
Chicken wing salad, make like a small Greek salad or something, put chicken in, a little olive oil and lemon juice, and then tons of veggies.
So you can do a salad, and you can do this in umpteen different ways. You can make like a Cobb salad and add some eggs to it, some hard-boiled eggs or something like that, and add the chicken and add all kinds of veggies that you want to it. Or like you said, you could throw in a Greek salad or a Caesar salad or something like that. Okay.
There's
What else could you do?
The chicken salad recipe in that recipe book you had, it's called Bare Bones Chicken Salad. It just has some celery, chicken, a little bit of mustard. And, I mean, it doesn't have any.
It's easy.
That is
It's-
delicious.
It's good.
Yeah.
It is good.
So
I
you
make
can
that
do a
lot.
chicken salad, right? You can shred the chicken or cut up the chicken and add some celery, add some
And that's good. in
nuts
the
even.
Lettuce wrap too.
And a lettuce wrap, exactly. So
I
that's a
like
great
mustard,
idea.
So I use hot sauce.
Hot sauce, okay, great.
Just a
Great.
tiny bit.
Hot sauce in
Just
the
a
chicken
tiny
salad?
bit.
You ever thought about scrambling some chicken with eggs?
Yeah, don't.
It's actually good. It's actually good. You can try that. Yeah, like chicken omelets, you can try that. Yeah.
Like sometimes in the morning when I make my omelet, I'll just use what I have in the fridge, like leftovers, like
Yeah.
if there's chicken or whatever, and whatever kind of veggies, and just throw it in.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic.
Yeah, just a scramble. Speaking of, so how about eggs? That's really easy. You can hard-boil eggs, and hard-boiled eggs keep for a long time. So those are really great because you can hard-boil eggs and then you can have them on a salad. You can mash them up and put them in a lettuce wrap. What else could you do with hard-boiled eggs?
Tuna salad.
I eat them too.
You can just, yeah. You can eat them with a little string cheese too, or even some turkey bacon.
You can make an egg salad.
Make a little egg salad. So yeah, and eggs in general are easy. Scrambled eggs that you could throw a bunch of veggies in, very easy. And some people don't think that you can heat up scrambled eggs, but you can. And you can sprinkle a little bit of cheese or something on top if you wanted to, just a little bit as a condiment. You can do that. So there are a lot of things that you can do. It's all about, first of all, scheduling that time, then making the proteins are what take the longest usually, right? Because sometimes you have to thaw them, you gotta think about that, as well as veggies that you need to cut up. So those are some of the things to think about. Most of the time over the weekend is when people find that that's their best time to plan for the week. But do it whatever day works for you, okay? So cut up the veggies and think about what proteins you're gonna eat that week. Thaw them, or think about when you're gonna put them out. That would help you a lot right there, okay, with your meal planning.
One thing that I do, that I have my husband do, is like if I know we're gonna have chicken, instead of just doing enough chicken for our family for just a few days or whatever, I do it for the whole week.
Yeah.
We do that.
And then
So you
I can
cook
cut
chicken
it
for
up
the whole
in
week.
strips, and then I cut it up in chunks, and then I actually put it in my food processor to make it to throw in soups or whatever.
Yeah, throwing in soups is really easy
And then I
too.
just put them in a little baggie and label them.
That's so easy.
And,
So
you know,
get
whether
with
it's
Angela,
steak
you
or
need some more
whatever.
ideas. That's very easy. So those are some great ideas, ladies, great ideas. The other thing, so now we're talking about meal planning with your family, or eating at home, or taking for lunch, those kinds of things. Now what about uh-oh moments, when you are running an errand and suddenly you find that you are just starving? You are starving. So,
Candy bar.
no candy bars.
McDonald's.
No candy bars, no McDonald's. No, so that of course happens to us, right? And this may sound like the simplest thing, but I carry a food bag with me everywhere I go. I never leave my house without food, ever. Don't ever leave your house without food.
Don't leave home without it.
Don't leave home without food. Never, ever, ever. You can keep some snacks in your car, like nuts, nutrition bars, things that will keep in your car. So those are the easiest ones, nuts and nutrition bars. You can keep them in your car. Now when obviously it's winter right now, but when it's hot, you just gotta find the stuff that doesn't melt, right? But that's the easiest. Okay. Other than that, I had the snack list. If you guys didn't pick it up on your way out. Some different examples of some of our favorite snacks that we recommend that are low glycemic. Except for the Costco cashew ones, okay? Those would not be for the phase that you're in right now. So, the uh-oh moments. Think about what are some really easy snack things you can have all the time in your refrigerator on hand. And what I do is, at night, before I go to bed, I just literally, it's like I take my refrigerator and I dump it into the bag, okay? It doesn't take a lot of planning, and that's the beauty of it, is you just throw stuff in there and you don't have to think, okay, do I need to cut this up? Do I need to cook this? It's stuff that should be easy to grab. So what are some things that are easy to grab? I mentioned hard-boiled eggs, so those are one. String cheese. What are some easy to grab things?
Celery stick.
So celery or carrot sticks,
Red pepper.
some yogurt,
Hummus.
hummus with cut up red bell peppers. Okay, if you don't have time, throw the freaking red bell pepper and a knife in there. That's what I do, you know? If I don't have time to do that, I try not to cut that in the car while I'm driving. Those little 100-calorie guacamole packs are really great, okay?
That's what stoplights are for.
Yeah, exactly. So little guacamole packs that you can have. I really like Benito's snack, Benito's chips. They're a chip made from black beans, it's low glycemic. You can find those at King Soopers.
What are they called?
Beanitos, Beanitos, those are my favorites. Those are really great, they're made out of black beans and they're actually certified low glycemic. The only certified low glycemic thing I've ever seen is USANA's bars and shakes and stuff. But they are too, so it's pretty cool.
Sometimes I get those little packets of almond butter, they're like a Justin's.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm like super starving, I mean, I just drag it out with my
Yeah,
cheese.
those little packets of almond butter are great. You can also buy those little things of apples or just have an apple. And those go great together because it's balanced, right? You always want to look at this balance right here. Yes, so that is, honestly, it's a simple trick, but it really works. It has saved me time and time again to have, in fact, now my boyfriend does it too, and my mother, and a lot of my friends, and you guys, hopefully, literally, don't leave your house without
Is
food.
popcorn not a good one because it's corn?
Popcorn is high glycemic. When it's popped, it's people think it's high in fiber, but it's actually pretty high glycemic. Yeah. So sorry to disappoint you on that one. So you always want to make sure that you're eating every 3 to 4 hours. That's really important. That goes back to your meal planning. So if you have a type of job where you're really struggling with getting enough food in during the day, so a couple of easy things you can do is, one, as I mentioned, the snack bag, okay, taking that. 2, if you haven't tried them yet, try USANA shakes. These are really great. A lot of people who are teachers or do something during the day that they don't really have a chance to eat every 3 to 4 hours, that you have to drink something, these are really good. So having a meal replacement that you can just drink, because obviously you can drink water while you're working, so drinking a shake, that will help get your blood sugar stable. So those, I recommend that their bars are really great, but you want to keep your blood sugar stable. Remember, the goal, what you always want to be doing, is you never want to let your blood sugar go too high or too low. That's the goal of eating low glycemic, and that's how you're going to lose body fat, okay? So your energy will be the best, and you'll prevent cravings. So remember, you want to be here, okay? If you're eating, if you wait too long, this goes back to meal planning. If you eat and then you wait too long, your blood sugar will drop. And then what do you feel like having? Junk. Sugar, right. Exactly. So that goes back to your planning. You have to eat. It's got to be every 3 to 4 hours. Okay? That's really important. The last thing I want to talk about is about calories and your calorie intake. You may have heard that a calorie is a calorie. Well, that's not true. Calorie is not a calorie. You could be on a 1,000 calorie diet, okay, which hopefully none of you are doing. 1,000 calorie diet, yeah, you'll lose weight. But if you're eating 1,000 calories worth of donuts, do you think you're going to lose weight? No. You can eat 1,000 calories worth of donuts, but where's your blood sugar? Where's your blood sugar? Yeah, if you eat a donut, you're here, and then you'll start to crash, and you'll here, and you stay right here, okay? So you will actually gain. Why? Because this is where you have optimal levels of fuel, where you have the best energy, and where you will lose weight. Okay. Now, what if you eat 1,000 calories worth of apples.
You're still
You're
high.
still high in sugar.
You're always down the low line.
You're actually low, well, you don't have enough. Yeah, you get some sugar, but you're not getting enough calories. You will lose weight, but you'll lose it really fast and you won't be able to sustain that. It's not sustainable, okay? It's not sustainable. So let's do a little calorie calculation so you guys have an idea of the range you should be in with your calories, all right? So what you want to do is you want to take your weight right now, multiply it by 13 if you have a particularly slow metabolism, 14 if you're working out fairly regularly, and 15 if you're exercising vigorously more than 3 times a week and you have a really revved up metabolism. I'm going to guess most of you will probably be in about the 14, okay? Because all of you are exercising more than once a week. Okay, so you multiply your weight by, most of you have a phone you can calculate it on, right? 13, 14, or 15, that would equal the calories per day right now that you need to consume in order to maintain your current weight.
It's a lot of calories.
That is, that's huge.
Yeah, it will come out higher than you may imagine. That's to maintain your weight. To maintain your weight, okay? So now, in order to lose, multiply that by 0.8. Basically what you're doing is you're reducing it by 20%. And you may see that it's still fairly high. Most of you may see it's still fairly high.
You multiply your weight by 20 or the number that you got?
The number that you got, total calories by 0.8. Okay? Give me a number. What did you get?
25,
17? Okay. What did you? Okay.
25, 2,550.
Yeah, that's still a lot.
To lose weight,
I think, yeah. 5.8.
multiply by 0.8. So here's an example. Here's an example. So if a woman weighs 140 pounds, listen up guys. Listen up guys. If a woman weighs 140 pounds, she multiplies that by 15 if she's exercising vigorously, coming here 3-4 times a week, working out on her own, working really hard, okay? She multiplies it by 0.8, so about 20%, her number comes down to about 1680. Okay, 1680. So that just gives you an idea. Now, she could be 14 or 17, but in that range. If you're constantly going higher, you're not going to lose weight as quickly. If you're constantly going too low, you're also going to struggle with losing weight. You may lose, but it's hard to maintain. It's hard to maintain. And this is what I want to leave you guys with, is a lot of times we may think that by really reducing our calories, oh, we're going to lose weight faster. But what does that cause in your body? What is the problem with that?
Starvation, hungry.
It always goes back to this, right? This is the foundation for everything that we teach. You always want to be in this narrow, healthy range, eating every 3 to 4 hours. If you're not eating enough calories and you're hungry a lot, where are you most of the time? You're down here, right? So what does this cause in our bodies?
Causes our body to go into starvation.
So the starvation mode, what does this mean? If we're hungry and we're in the low blood sugar, what happens? Why do we store fat?
So you don't starve.
Because it protects its organs.
That's right. Debbie said it. Your body seeks to protect its most vital organs, which are located where?
Right in the center.
Right here. I always wondered why we didn't get chubby in our feet, right? It's because we store it here because if we go into that starvation mode, it triggers our body to say, oh, I gotta hold on to the fat. I don't know when I'm starving next. You're not really starving, right? Most of us could probably fast for 20 to 40 days and be fine, right? But that's what happens. So that's what you want to be very careful of, is when you're working on your meal planning, don't get consumed with, oh, okay, I gotta make sure I have 1,680 calories. Make sure that you're full. Make sure you're eating enough, oops, it's not up there anymore. Make sure you're eating enough veggies, eating those lean proteins, don't just subsist on veggies. You gotta eat the lean proteins, 25% of your meal should be that. Have those fats to keep you full and satiated. The avocado, the flaxseed, the almond butter, that will keep you satiated, okay? And plan for those unforeseen circumstances. Take your food bag everywhere you go. No, your goal is for you to go back home and still have food in the bag. That's your goal. If you ate it all, then you didn't plan enough. My grandma's like, what is it with that orange you've been carrying around for a week? You know? Well, the point is, I haven't been able to eat it yet. Okay, and then the last thing is I emailed all of you guys a weekly meal plan. You can do it however you'd like, but I sent you just a little template so you can use that, or you can do it on your phone, do it on your computer, do it on a journal, whatever works better for you. But planning ahead is going to be key for your success, okay? Yes?
So is your recommendation that we only eat from foods that we create? In other words, we eat nothing? Like, for example, I like sometimes to eat these soups from Campbell's that are on the go. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I look at the back, and some of them have, you know, I want to know about the difference between how you count the fats to the carbs to the proteins. And
Right.
that is supposed
Yeah, that will be the grocery store tour.
Yeah.
That's a great
We
question.
need the
But
glycemic index calculator.
yeah, okay, let me just address that real quick and then we'll wrap it up. So one of the things when we teach low glycemic eating is our country is not as advanced as Australia that has the GI label on our nutrition fact labels, okay? So we don't have, this is a glycemic index of. Very few. USANA's products do, I think the Benito's chips do, but very, very few will tell you actually what the glycemic index. Some do, some nutrition bars, but most foods will not. And of course, a fruit or a vegetable is not going to have a label on it of what glycemic index is. That is why we do these classes, so that you have a general knowledge. Most veggies are low glycemic. You should eat 1 to 2 servings of fruit. They're mostly low glycemic, but when you're on rapid fat loss mode, you want to avoid doing too many of those fruits. You guys have a list. All of you have lists that I gave you of the veggies that you can eat and fruits, and then the starchy carbohydrates, which ones are low, which ones are high. Okay, I give you a list of those as well. That's a general rule. Now when it comes to packaged things, the more we can get away from processed foods, the better. So when it comes to soups, like Campbell's soup, most of them are high in sodium. A lot of times they'll say low sodium, but most are high, okay? And they're processed. The veggies are processed. The noodles are processed. Everything in there is processed. So, you know, if it's like, I wouldn't even say if it's something that you're in desperate need of, because that goes back to meal planning, really. It goes back to meal planning. You know, you can make your own soup like Angela mentioned. You know, you've got the chicken breast, throw a bunch of veggies, the chicken broth, put it in a crock pot or a pot or whatever, and then you've got it for the rest of the week, you know. And it doesn't have to be something that you spend hours and hours on, you know. It can be something simple, yes.
I had read once about eating only things that grew in the earth or had a mother.
Yeah, exactly.
If you look at it. That's true.
Or they ever had a mother, yeah.
You know, to try.
Yeah, I know it's hard. I know it's hard if you're used to doing things that are quick, easy. But you can really make the meal planning quick and easy. It just takes a commitment of the time. Make it your goal this week to schedule that. Even if you just start with 15 minutes. Okay, Sunday from 10 to 10:15, I'm going to work on my meal plan. Just starting with that and making that a consistent thing every week. This is a habit, just like working out, just like brushing your teeth. It's a habit. It's a habit that you have to develop. And then it gets easier. But I used to eat lots of processed foods, and I don't anymore. And it's gotten a lot easier. It just takes some time. Yes?
Is there a difference in the vegetables if you cook them or eat them raw?
Yeah, raw veggies are known to be better. You know, you retain more of the vitamins and minerals from raw veggies. But if you lightly cook them, the main thing a lot of us do is overcook. We overcook things a lot. So make sure, like when you're sauteing zucchini, for example, that it's still a little firm. Because then if you go to reheat it, it gets even mushier, you know, that's an example. So make sure that, try not to overcook things. That's the biggest thing. And then of course, how you heat it, you know, what kind of oil you're using. That's why it's the grapeseed oil is one of the best ones. This last question, we'll wrap it up, okay?
So if you know, a quarter of my meal is 3 ounces of chicken, fish, whatever, how much vegetable makes the 3/4?
When it comes to veggies, we are doing unlimited veggies. You eat enough veggies until you're full.
But like 2 cups would be.
Yeah, 2
enough
cups,
every
2
day?
cups is actually the guide that I gave you. But you know, if you're eating spinach and you want half a cup extra of spinach, I guarantee you're not gonna gain weight from doing that, okay? So, just to wrap it up, just remember guys, we said if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? So the key, you wanna plan to succeed by succeeding at planning, right? So let's make it a goal this week, set a time aside, use a little weekly meal plan, and just think about your week. Don't make it too complicated. Don't feel overwhelmed that this is a big thing that you gotta do. Just start small, okay? And then we will, every week you build on it and get better, okay?
Can I ask them 2
All right.
questions?
Thank you.